Hi, and welcome back to the channel. I wanted to show you something really exciting today, how you can build an interactive resume in just 10 minutes. Now, you're still going to need a PDF resume. You're still going to need your LinkedIn profile to be updated because you've got to get through the AI bots and you've got to be able to get in front of a decision maker. But now say that moment has arrived. They go and say, "Hey, Mark, love to have a conversation with you. Do you have a resume you can share?" And this is where I think you differentiate yourself from everyone else. You're going to say, "I can send you the PDF one, but wouldn't you prefer an interactive version tailored for your company, all about me, that you can ask me questions about? I'll send that to you." We're going to build that today. But before we get to building it, I want to show you a completed version so you can see what we're going to build. So here we go. What we have here is just a demo version working on localhost, and I'll show you later how you can actually host this so people can see it. But I've sent this off to my fictitious company, Anthropic. Just in the news, bear with me. We'll use that as our demo case subject today. No, I'm not interviewing Anthropic. No, this job description that we're going to go after is not real, but it gives you the context. Passwords, I'm not going to give this to everyone. I'm going to just give the password to Anthropic, and I'll put in the password here and I enter the interview. And it goes and says, "Hey, my name, this is my chief marketing officer. This is a little bit about me, and welcome to agents." Maybe we should put a question here about Anthropic. And I'm the Anthropic hiring manager here, interacting with me. Maybe the question I'm going to ask is, why are you Well, Nahum, this is with Claude, product I built. And so this is me coming back and going, it's actually my company, Build Growth, what it's done. I also have some questions. You can say, "Hey, walk me through your background." And it'll go through, and we're going to go build this so that you'll have a resume chatbot just like this for you. But in order to go and build it, where have we got to go and start? We've got to go and start in code. Let's go bring up VS Code and let's get started. All right, we're in VS Code here, and we're starting in the Mark interview demo. You can see it here. How do you get that? I made a little cheat sheet here. You just go off to GitHub, you clone it, you bring it down, you can fork it, and you're going to be ready to go. So it'll be in here, and you probably start with the README. Here's the README already up. See README. And the one thing it says here is, tells you about all the folders. You don't need to worry about this. You can read it in the README, but the most important one is probably identity.md, which is you. It's all your resume. This is what's going to have your details in it. So if we have a look at the moment in my identity, it's got nothing in it. Right? Interesting. And let's get started. I'm going to bring up Claude. I'm going to tell Claude to go and basically run the setup prompt and follow it. And so it's part of the README to tell you to do this. So if you forget, but it's in part of the README, and it's just reading this thing called setup prompt and going to go through setting up this interactive demo, or will be your resume. I have my resume all standing by here. Let me just get it. I'm just going to copy the path of it and give it to Claude over here. And now it's going off and reading my resume. And it'll do the same for yours. Mine's a markdown file. You can bring it in PDF. You can do it in ASCII text. And so it just ability for Claude just to read up the stuff, and so it goes through there, and it's starting to now to write the core identity file. All right, let's put in my name. I told them not to bring in my email and phone just because I want to keep that confidential for this video, but for you it will bring that in. LinkedIn, here's my key strengths and everything else here. It has a lot of good stuff. It's also updating career background, and you can see it going along here. Here's what's changed. I fixed this up, confirm, and let's say confirm. So we confirmed our background. If not, you go and check it, and you go and iterate through this, because obviously this is all about you. Spend the time doing that, but we don't have that amount of time yet. The company's job description, again, I have my fake job description from Anthropic. I'm just going to copy it, paste it in here. It's going to read the job description. It'll tell you what it's doing here. But basically, bring in the job description, and then spend some time doing some analysis on the company. Get Claude to help you there. You can keep adding stuff to the company overview, so that when you're talking about it and ask, oh, what was the revenue we told you about, you'll have that because you would have preloaded. At this stage, I'm just putting in the Anthropic company, and so you can probably see up here, Anthropic's come in here. It tells me when it was founded because Claude went and did a research just to pull out something, and here's the platform. And so it's busy doing all the stuff and putting in the experience and background. It tells you, here's a set of standard questions and standard answers. What you'll do is just confirm it and go through it. Now, what I've also done, which I find I get a lot of standard questions. What's your 90-day plan? What's this plan? Stage 3 is preload standard answers. And so I say yes, confirm, and it'll go and give me some standard answers. Now, I've preloaded some. You can use those. Obviously, if they're your standard answers, they're a lot better. Got some permissions thing here, so I'm just bringing up standard answers. All right, so I have one, what's my AI approach, what's my background, and all that type of stuff. It says preload all 5. That's its approach. I would spend a little time looking at that, edit this for your own thing. So I'm just going to say, just do all 5, fine. And I'm going to copy as is, just faster. And again, we would tailor them in the real world. But this is getting you up within 10 minutes, like I promised. Wire it in. Now, what you do need is you do need an Anthropic key. I've already preloaded mine. You'll have to do that for this to work because it's going to be an interactive chat. It's just proceed with yes. And it's going to go off and do this. Now, I'm going to run a local host, and we're going to do that as soon as it finishes building. Let me say yes to allow this command. And if you want to go and deploy it in a public place so that you actually give it to the company, I'll show you how to do that shortly. Okay, it's got a password of test. You could change the password. I like to give a password for the company so that not everyone can just interact with it, or someone stumbles upon this website, they can interact with it. And so you can see it's basically creating the pages, and we'll let it finish doing its job. All right, it tells me how to run it, so I'm going to just run it. npm run dev. And so it's at localhost 3000. I'm going to bring that up into our thing over here. And we've got 3. We said we're going to do Anthropic one. I'm just going to put in test. And basically, we're inside of Anthropic. I've still got, a bug here that just says your name, but that's fine. Ask Mark a question. Let's discuss who would you hire first? And I'd hire a marketing ops person. That's what I think was needed based on my sort of interviews and sort of this fake thing. Maybe I'd also ask a little bit about what API tools do you know? And brings up a couple that I'm used to and using. This has come straight from my resume. You would tailor it for your own needs. And there you have it. You basically have built an interactive resume. Now, just to quickly recap on that. We cloned the repo, you brought it down. We dropped in your resume, that gave you the whole identity. You added in a job description. Again, it's a fake one, but you bring in your job description. Pick any standard answers. I would highly recommend you look through the answers and make them your standard answers. I ran it locally. Now, if you want to deploy to Vercel, it's in the README. Basically, you create a Vercel account. You would then push this back to your own GitHub repo and Vercel pull from that. I've left that as an exercise for the reader. But hopefully this has been useful. Hopefully you can get your resume up and being interactive. And tell me, did you land the job? Bye-bye.